Up next, we have Katie Woodfin. Katie is originally from Maryville, Tennessee, and is a senior in the college with a major in government and minors in Spanish and Linguistics. On campus, she has spent her time at Georgetown working with Georgetown Opportunities for Leadership Development, the Georgetown Honor Council, Catholic Retreats, and the Senior Class Committee. After graduation, she'll be moving to Chicago to work with Heidrick and Struggles as an incoming analyst. Please join me in welcoming Katie Woodfin.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is a magical place. And no, it's not just because Healy Hall is often compared to a certain castle from the Harry Potter franchise. The magic here at Georgetown comes in the little moments, the sum of our time and both what we notice in the moment and what we reflect upon later. The magic I see is what we create in our community here. Not only what I have learned about myself, but also, and perhaps more importantly, what I have learned from other people. As graduation is now barreling towards me, I have begun to think about all the things I have learned here. Yes, I can now tell you about constitutional law or post-revolutionary literature in Mexico, but that type of learning was a given when I entered the front gates, or at least my parents certainly hoped so when I accepted my place in the class of 2019. No, the real things I learned here on this campus came through my involvement outside of the classroom and the interactions I have had with my fellow Hoyas. Although it is nearly impossible to boil down 4 years of living into a list, I have narrowed down my top 3 magic moments to share with you all today. Magic moment number 1, learning from others. The people at Georgetown, be they peers, staff, or alumni, are some of the most interesting people I have ever met. And the best part of being a Hoya is that they find you to be just as interesting. Although new student orientation can feel overwhelming and you quickly develop a 30-second introduction that you share over and over and over again, that will fade, and soon you will actually begin talking to people. I was fortunate enough to do a pre-orientation program called Leadership and Beyond that dramatically shaped my time at Georgetown. Getting to spend a week with 30 people before the hectic pace of school started, as well as upperclassmen mentors, gave me roommates, mentors, and my very best friends here on campus. I said earlier that this place was magic. Sitting in class with peers that are often much more knowledgeable about topics than I am helps challenge me in the classroom. Pro tip, always find the smartest kid in class. Hoyas help other Hoyas, so take advantage of your resources. Professors, too, are really interesting people to get to know. I have had many meals out with classes and professors that I've been able to hear not only about the research that they're doing, but what they had wished before they had graduated college. Or, for example, a mentor that I have here with Father Matt Carnes, who is not only my faculty advisor in the government department, but also probably one of the smartest people I have ever had the privilege to meet. I often pop into his office hours so that he can give me book recommendations and I can tell him what is trending on Netflix and Hulu. With the staff, I have gotten the chance to learn how to plan large-scale events, as well as gain professional development. I also mentioned the alumni here at Georgetown. Last spring, I spent 6 months studying abroad in Madrid and then went straight to Chicago to work for the summer. While it was hard to leave the hilltop for over 8 months, leaving truly made me fall in love with Georgetown all over again. But imagine my surprise when I left the hilltop and did not really seem to leave at all. While in Spain, I met alumni at the Georgetown Spain Foundation that were happy to have our study abroad cohort over for both tapas and mac and cheese that we were missing from home. In Chicago, I arrived to find an office with several Georgetown alumni that were ecstatic to meet me and mentor me in the office that I will be returning to after graduation. Creating a home away from the hilltop is going to make that transition all the easier. That is magic moment number 1. The people here are an incredible resource, and getting the most out of your time at Georgetown means meeting and talking to people at every level of the university. And yes, they are looking forward to meeting you too. Magic moment number 2, gaining confidence in myself. Although it is probably safe to say that all of you in the audience have a certain amount of confidence in yourselves, and you absolutely should, Georgetown has a way of humbling you and building you back up again. My very first exam of college was a test in my introduction to ethics class. Although it was a new subject to me, I felt certain I could differentiate between Kant, Plato, and whoever else we were discussing. Instead, I got a whopping 58 on my first test. A 58. I failed my first exam of college. Sorry, Mom. There will be many, many times when you need to ask for help at Georgetown. With the way that students are passionate and involved here, you will feel in over your head at least once. The trick is knowing when to ask for help, to go to professors and ask for extensions, to ask advisors or peers to give you a helping hand. With that help, you will gain more confidence in yourself than you thought possible. I have done so many things I did not know I was capable of. The pre-orientation program I mentioned earlier, I became the coordinator and put together a week-long and then a semester-long program about leadership development and leadership theory as a sophomore and a junior. A few weeks ago, I welcomed over 800 people to campus as the chair of Senior Parents and Family Weekend. The opportunities here at Georgetown are a large part of the magic. For whatever you're interested in, be it leadership theory, engagement with parents and families, microfinance, or even a cultural group, there is a place here for you. Here, you can take on roles that will teach you so many necessary life skills. With that, although there might be moments in which you might stumble, the people around you will be there to dust you off, help you lift up your head, and allow you to lead confidently. Magic moment number 3, learning how to take a break. This might be my favorite bit of magic I've experienced here at Georgetown. I often explain to people that life at Georgetown is like juggling. School, work, internships, clubs, social life are all like balls to keep throwing up in the air. But occasionally, this does get tiring, which I'm sure is a surprise to no one. Georgetown's Jesuit identity means that this kind of help and taking a break is built in. One of my favorite Jesuit values, as well as James and Father Greg's, is the idea of cura personalis, which means care for the whole person. I know that when friends or advisors ask me how I am, they actually care about my answer. I can say that I am having a stressful day, or that I've been a bit run down by a midterm season that never seems to end, and that people here will take the time to listen. We all love to talk about ourselves. Find the people who will listen rather than just hear, and those will be the ones to make your day a little bit brighter, knowing they care for all of you, your head and your heart. Another wonderful part of Georgetown that I have been involved with are retreats through campus ministry. Getting to coordinate retreats and spend several weekends a year at our retreat center in the Blue Ridge Mountains has been a defining part of my time at Georgetown. Having a culture that encourages you to take time to reflect is incredibly important. Like I said at the start of this speech, you can't always see the magic when it happens. Taking time to reflect and to think critically about both the good and the bad has helped me to grow and mature in ways I didn't expect. Doing things like the Ignatian Examen, which helps you to think about the day that you have had, helps me to set goals and to process how I can do better and be better. Even speaking with friends is another bit of magic. Being in a space where you can talk freely and get advice without judgment is something I have come to value and treasure here at Georgetown. To circle back, I hope I've shared with you a little bit of the magic here at Georgetown. Even this campus is magic. Getting up at 7 a.m. with the birds chirping, not a single cloud in the sky, and a quiet campus feels so incredibly restful and makes me grateful for the day I have ahead. The magic here is all around, and once you start to notice it, it permeates every part of your Georgetown experience. I have one final thought to leave you with, and it's one of the things I heard during my first weeks at Georgetown that has stuck with me for going on 4 years now. Dean Chester Gillis, the former dean of Georgetown College, often said, "Here is the place where you will find the people who will dance at your wedding." While I have no doubt that my friends will give the most wonderful and embarrassing toasts at my wedding, I will do him one better. Here is the place where my people have danced with me on Friday nights. Here is the place where my people have pulled all-nighters with me on Wednesday evenings while I cram for a Spanish test. And here is where they have been with me every day in between. Here at Georgetown is home. It is my hope for